Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and understand the risks before investing.
Yeah, hello and welcome back to another Bitcoin update. So, what a eventful last couple of hours we have had in the market. We had this sell-off of about 4% and in less than an hour or 1 or 2 hours for Bitcoin. So that was pretty impressive to see. So definitely some blood in the market right now, sell-offs. In terms of what we have been looking at, it doesn't really change any scenarios. We were kind of talking about it last time too. If we broke below these swing lows here, well then it's likely that we could be going for an extended A wave, but before we actually figure out whether or not we are doing that, this could just all be technically just a larger degree corrective 1-2. So this could have been all an A wave, and then now this could have been a complex B wave correction in an A, B, C wave where we form a 1-2 setup, and then we could get that third wave up. That is totally possible as well. It just kind of breaks these past scenarios where we had this B wave top in this zone, but because of that sell-off and breaking below those swing lows, well then it just becomes more probable, hey, we could just be, this could have all been an A wave, and now we're just in a more complex B wave corrective move, because like we have said, B waves are super complex. And I'll get to some past chart history of Bitcoin where we have seen moves like this, and we can still get a bounce and then get that rejection as well. Before we go over that, I just want to quickly go through. So what we would be looking for this, and this, if this is indeed the larger degree A, B, C to the downside, then this C wave could all be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move down. Could be possible we go a little bit lower and then we bounce up. Once we kind of break below this 60,000, well, it becomes more and more likely that we will enter that 56,000 range like we have been talking about in the last few weeks. If we were to break below this level, I'll get a support zone added if we do start to break lower and lower, and it kind of seems like that A wave that 60,000 bottom will be broken. I'll be sure to add a provided support zone for that, just so it makes it a little bit more simple. If we do break below, it's possible we do form just a corrective 3-wave bounce, and then we can get that larger sell-off as well. So that would be important to notice. But if you kind of look at how this is moving, I mean, we've seen this before. Yeah, we broke below these swing lows, and we could very well be in this A wave extension, and we could be going to that lower region. But I mean, it's not unusual to see Bitcoin do these weird formalities before having some sort of corrective bounce after. For example, one that just happened in November. Look exactly what happened here. We had a impulsive rally up, 5-wave move, and then we had a large sell-off. Now this large sell-off didn't break this swing low, but it got considerably low, and it broke below these swing lows here as well. So it's not unusual to see Bitcoin do something like that, where we rally up, it looks good, and then we just have a sell-off, and then we bounce back. And that is exactly what happened here. Bounce back. But even again here, when we had this sell-off, it again tested these lows around here as well, and then went sideways and then back up. So I know it can be pretty crazy in the market at times, but Bitcoin will always do the most unexpected things. So usually you kind of just have to work around what the buyers and sellers do and try your best. So what that basically means is it's important to look at how past history of Bitcoin has moved and apply it to how it is moving right now. One more time, I will show of another scenario that could Or another time this could have been playing out. Let me just refresh this chart really quick. And another time in which this could have been playing out or something similar to this situation is what happened back here. So we have two things in which we could be in right now that I have analyzed and actually posted on X as well as similar rallies in which we could be in. So it's totally possible that Bitcoin could be in this area where it just kind of goes sideways for a little bit before it goes lower. This, for example, this sell-off could be considered our sell-off to 55, 56,000, maybe a little lower, maybe a little bit higher. And then we have a very corrective rally to the upside. Now, even a rally this size is a 40% move for Bitcoin. And like we were saying for our Fibonacci resistance, we would be looking for something like that too. It doesn't have to be that exact number. It can be lower and it can be higher. But we can see how choppy it gets. I mean, where Bitcoin tests these lows all the time. For example, here it tested again after this rally, tested this low again, and it's just a corrective choppy move up. But in total, it kind of forms a larger degree A, B, C wave to the upside, where the C wave could be a 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 wave move up. Obviously, it's not the most pretty thing. It's very choppy up and down, but that's how counter trend rallies are after you have had these large sell-offs. So it's not unusual to see Bitcoin do these large moves to the downside and then corrective rally afterwards following, or overall just moving up. So that's why I say once we kind of break below this main low that we formed, for example, 60,000 would be where it is right now. Once we kind of break below that, then that's kind of when we have our indication, okay, maybe a bottom is in it and we are going lower. But to see sell-offs like this, and even if they do test these lows and break swing lows, I mean, it's just what Bitcoin does. And until we get that break below that swing low, we kind of just have to keep on track and watching for higher prices or some sort of corrective rally afterwards. So that's kind of why it's just so hard to look at and say, well, we don't really know if we are going to be going lower, because this is what Bitcoin does, and we won't have that confirmation till we do officially break below this swing low. Now, what we would be looking for from here for this upside potential is if this now broke these swing lows here, this could just be a larger degree, A wave up in a 3-wave move, and then this could have been a all of a B wave, where this C wave for the 5-wave move could have been something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move down, or maybe even this could have been all of the 1st wave, 2nd wave, 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave. As long as we don't break the swing low, that should be fine, and then we could bounce up in that C wave, assuming that A wave did indeed not bottom there. And I want to go over the RSI super quickly, and then we're going to be going over some of the liquidations just so you can kind of see how we're looking in the market. So from a perspective point of view on the market, nothing is ever guaranteed, but usually in moments like this, we do hit that oversold. So we are getting close to the oversold on the 4-hour RSI. Right now, we actually are oversold at 29. On the 1 hour, we are oversold as well. And 30-minute chart, also oversold. And daily, it seems like we are heading towards that oversold. And we already broke above this trend line in which we were forming. If we do get one more low to that lower support region, it would not surprise me to see a bullish divergence form on the daily as well. So kind of something like what we were doing back here in March through April, just forming divergences on the charts and getting lower lows on the charts as well. So wouldn't surprise me to see that happen as well But sometimes when we do hit oversold, sometimes we just bounce and start that corrective rally up, which is what we did back here as well. We never got a lower low. We got a test of those lows, but then we bounced back up. So what it kind of comes down to is, will the buyers see this price? Will they push it back up like what they did over here? Or will it be something similar to here where buyers will see a sell-off of some sort? We will have some sort of dead cat bounce, and then sellers aren't interested and we head lower, but we form a divergence in the chart. So it's up to the buyers and sellers at the end of the day, but we will kind of have to keep track of it. And if we go over to the liquidations as well, here is the 7-day. Right now we have a total of 5, almost 6 billion shorts and about 1 billion longs. It's possible Bitcoin goes a little bit lower to liquidate some of these longs, and then we can possibly see a rally upwards back as well towards that 70,000, but obviously not guaranteed. So that's kind of why I wanted to show that, because on the chart, we don't need to directly, if this A wave did indeed not bottom and we are going lower, we don't necessarily have to indeedly have a direct sell-off. It could always be something of a 1-2 setup to the downside, where all of this could be a first wave to the downside. So maybe we could have had a corrective 3-wave move up, and then all this could just be a 1-2 to the downside where we liquidate those shorts. So a 1-2 setup to the downside, test that 70,000 range, liquidate the shorts, and then head lower. That's a total possible scenario as well. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much everything for this video. Hopefully that was simple, helpful, able to keep it simple in the market. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for this video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.